Welcome, everybody, to ProBots 2024 Season 3, Day 1. I'm Drekken, your producer, and we're back. It has been a couple of months, and bots have been offline, and we've rebooted them from cold storage to bring you the best damn competitive AI on all the internet. I dare you to find a better StarCraft 2 AI competition. Dare you. Either which way, we're back we got brand new bots. We got Terran, Arty, and Tartarus, and the return of the small moon, Demios. And we got our old fan favorites, Dominion Dog and SharpenedEdge, returned back for this season. But you know who isn't old and isn't new? These casters. Come on in.
I'm kind of old.
Yeah, we're getting pretty old.
Like especially for like esports and stuff, I'm pretty much as old as
Or
you.
yeah, we're grandparents there.
It's like DJ Wheat and then me. That's it.
Old school. Endisword and Ketrug, we're back, everybody. Yes, we'll call Endisword Papa ProBot, and Ketrug, you'll be Mini ProBot. You're the younger version. So everyone, we're back. Hopefully you guys got a good rest. And I know it's Halloween. I don't know if you what are your costumes? You didn't bring any costumes to the episode?
I'm an Eagles fan. I'm usually if you check all other broadcasts, I'm a Bruins fan. So which is a different sport, but so you can be both, but I'm an Eagles fan today.
And then Ketrug, what's your costume?
I think I'm also an Eagles fan.
Yeah, he's
I don't
also
know
an
what that
Eagles
is.
fan. I think
Is
that,
it? Okay,
is that
yeah.
American Eagle or Hollister or something.
Yeah,
I don't know
probably
what
something
that
like
is.
that.
Yeah.
They're pretty lit.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to respond to that. It's like it's like the worst costumes ever. But either which way,
Yours
these bots.
good.
Oh, thank you.
You're dressed as someone that Don Cherry does not dislike.
Yes.
Oh, he's wearing the poppy.
You've got the poppy.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, good. Awesome.
It's over there.
Yes. Well, November's like just around the corner. Usually I wait till November 1st, but you know what? First broadcast,
yeah. Same
thing. Guys, we're back for some ProBots. We're doing the last one of the season, and man, it's minus time flies. Feels like we just started this season or the year. We were at the end.
Yeah.
What are you, I guess, most excited for this particular season before we get into the full Monty of everything?
I like watching the bots play each other in the game. I think that's the good part of it. As much as I know the fans like these intros and everything a lot more, but the games I find are interesting. And I always like to see the new bots is usually the thing. New bots with a new twist are interesting.
Absolutely. I'll take that as a hint. So this particular season is still on the old patch. It's been brought up. Someone asked me if we're gonna have the new patch, new maps, X, Y, and Z. I'm like, we're gonna have to take a while. That still takes some time for us to adjust.
The players don't want the new patch.
Yeah, right. So
well, the new patch coming out is kind of the old patch, anyways, because it's like reverting a bunch of things like the Cyclone and Brood Lord and whatnot. We'll have to see.
Yeah. So
it's still work in progress, anyways. It's not live.
Yeah, it's and then we're pretty much on the old patch, our old maps and what have you, and then hopefully we can talk about our format. It depends if the police come and take away one of our casters. I don't know who it is, but
it's always you.
It's always you.
These are the dangers of living very much downtown.
All right, master of format.
So before the cops do get here, so the format is the double rectangle format, which is on the left rectangle. We start with the group stage, which is GSL style groups, where we got groups of 4. They play each other. The winners go on to a winners match. The losers go to a losers match. And then the winner of the winners goes on. The losers of the winners plays the winner of the losers in the consolation match, and then they go on. So basically top 2 make it out of that sort of mini bracket in the group stage, and then we are off to a single elimination playoff with 8 bots that make it through. The quarterfinals are best of 3, semis best of 5, and then the finals best of 7.
Fantastic. Couldn't have said it better myself. That's why we have you and the sword, the master explainer. Also, some things to keep, some little bit of housekeeping for you guys at home, so you know, we've changed the channel name. If you haven't noticed, it's now Versus AI, which means our main website, versusai.net. We actually also have a ProBots hub there, so you can follow along with the brackets, live streams, like if you want the latest updates of when the live stream is, as well as the bots. So if you want to see some of the bots profiles, you can go there. So it's probots.versusai.net, or if you go to versusai.net, click on ProBots itself in the menu, it takes you right there. So hopefully we'll see if we will have any data to talk about these bots. If not, we'll have to see if we can get to see what the brackets look like. Can we get a look at maybe our group stages? Oh my god, we got it. That's amazing. We're rolling. Whew.
Very good.
Yeah, no, it was really good.
Very good. Yep. So we got Demios versus Arty. So we love our celestial bodies here. So Demios, definitely a good one. Arty, famously friends with Norm Macdonald. Then we've got Sharkbot versus SharpenedEdge, who doesn't fit in the small rectangle that we have available. And then Xena versus Terrain, which sounds like Terran, but it's different. It's got an I in there, making it more of a landscape. Oh,
A and the I are
moved.
capitalized. So
oh, are they?
Yeah, so it's Terran
nice.
AI. There you
Ooh, I see.
Is that what it is?
Sense. Yeah.
Yeah. When you make it all uppercase, you lose the effect.
Nice. See, that makes sense. So Terra AI. And
well, I just called it terrain, but
yeah, terrain.
It is correct spelling for terrain as well.
Yeah. And then we got MicroMach. He's the guy from Punch Out, and then a 12 pool bot.
I mean, and well, I guess we'll find out, because in the voiceover, assuming you have the intros, it will say terrain. So
Probably.
The author did not submit a particular spelling, so it's going to be called terrain. That's what it is.
Well, it's you don't pronounce capitalization anyway, so
yeah.
It's fine.
That's
definitely what it is.
That's a good point. And we don't have the other side of the bracket, so we'll talk a little bit about the other bots who are in on the other side, so you have an idea who is in it this season, who is left, who's not mentioned there. And then the other side will be Group C: Kaninana, Tartarus, Ketrock, Zozo, Dominionog, T-Bone, Benbot, BC, and Tier. That's our top 6. That's our not top 16, but that's 16. Well, 16 from the ladder. Top 16 from the ladder.
Yeah.
So that's our.
It is the top 16.
It is.
If there's only 16, it is by definition the top 16.
By definition, you are correct. That is true. Absolutely.
It's a rectangular number.
What, top 16?
Yeah, well, it's 16. You can leave the word top out of the number, but it's a square number, but therefore a rectangular number as well.
Okay, absolutely. So before we get started, don't forget to hit that like button and that subscribe. Get notifications for when we go live here on the channel Versus AI. And absolutely. And then also, don't forget, a lot of these bots are all playing on AIarena.net. So they are actively playing. I don't know what this current season is. I don't know. Have we restarted?
It's in the preseason right now. I think they're working on updating the map pool or something.
Absolutely. So plenty of time for you to get your bot going, get your bot started. If you on Mondays we do mob programming, so come along and code and watch. You know, it's pretty easy in terms of getting started. Grab yourself a template. You can get started tonight. And then I also do some videos on my bot journey. So if I can do it, you can do it. Trust me. It's not that hard.
It's too self-deprecating. You're a very bright young man, and you've done very well.
You know what? Thank you, Anderson. That's nice. Thank you. Yeah, my bot actually did do pretty good.
Yeah.
So I actually did an episode recently. Those of you check it on the channel, and you can see where my bot is currently, and that was me putting it on the ladder for the first time. So highly recommend it. Okay, why don't we get started with the first round of bots, and I'll actually join you guys for the conversation, and let's see Demios versus Arty in terms of some stats. Let's see what we got.
We've got blanks a lot, but
Oh
we've
my.
got two. Well, we got two Python bots. We've got Demios by Team Eris. It is again yet another celestial body. You can see it pictured there, up in the corner. It has a strategy of being cool, and then its weakness is game step value is hard coded to 2. Ketrak can explain that.
Well, there's about 22 steps every second. So, but this bot is playing every second step. So basically, you can do about 12 actions a second for every single unit. So that's how we get into like the 20,000 APM range.
Does that make so? Is that like that weakness? How does that actually translate to a weakness?
Well, it's not one, I guess. So MicroMachine, for instance, plays every single step. So it can react a split second faster than theirs,
I see.
But if you're playing every step, things don't update quite well. Things don't update immediately. It's safer to play every second step, we'll say. But that's still good. I mean, Python bots are usually every fourth step, so they got it pretty quick.
It's faster than people.
Yes.
That's the important part.
Yeah.
Majority of macro and combat maneuvers in Demios have been carefully orchestrated using reusable behaviors directly from the Ares SC2 framework.
Love myself Ares SC2 framework. Highly recommend it. Yeah, it makes a lot. Man, if you don't want to code a lot of stuff from scratch, but still want to get the benefits of some of the top bots, definitely use the Ares framework. As it was brought up before, one of the weaknesses, of course, of the framework is that other bot authors can use that as an exploit. But if you're just getting started, I recommend it personally.
Yeah. I just like the flowery language. Combat maneuvers have been orchestrated. Excellent. So Rasper coded this bot. I don't code this game. Played a major role in developing core code in the Ares SC2 framework previously mentioned. Development started only 5 months ago, primarily focused on improving the Protoss bot author experience in the Ares SC2 framework. So
they created this bot as like a demo for Protoss, and yet it's #1 on the ladder right now.
Yeah.
So it's actually surpassed Eris as the #1 bot. So yeah, favorite for the season is a Protoss bot. We haven't said that in a long time.
Finally. Oh my god.
Not since like -0 maybe.
Chew Tempest, baby.
I'm excited.
I don't know what it
I
is.
hope so.
Yeah. And then we got Arty over here, coded by White Puma. Strategy is non-TVZs, a simple 2-max Marine SCV all-in. We don't see enough of that. We see the Marine all-ins, but not pull the boys Marines. Anti-counter all-in included TVZ. A unique economic reactive style that allows the bot to stay 1 base ahead in TVZ. That's pretty good. While using scout timings and progressive walling to stay safe while prepping max mech count. Those are 2 extremely different things. In TVZ, I cheese all in you immediately. In a TVZ, we're going late game mech. So that. This one will be very dependent on the matchups that we're gonna have here. So yeah, one going like heavy economic defensive play, and the other one going for cheese all ins.
Yeah,
pretty good.
Weaknesses. Oh, another one.
Yeah, again, 2 different things. Non-TVZ, any sufficient early scouting should be able to set up, obviously, to counter that all in with the Marine and SCVs, and in TVZ. Totally different. Main weakness of the bot is in this initial submission. I was thinking of submission as in like surrender. In the initial submission is spellcasters that could do well against the mech army, and being used, ghosts are not implemented. Okay, yeah, makes sense. And lurkers, lurkers I think are tough for a lot of bots to deal with. They're a cloaked unit that is often difficult to tell exactly where it is, I think, for bots.
Yeah,
Or
you
like
gotta
where,
code it very
yeah,
specifically too,
yeah,
because you can't see the lurker itself.
yeah,
Burrowed units that don't
doesn't move.
move have like no
Yeah.
visual effect.
There was
But
also
we can
uh,
see the spines though. It's
oh
just,
yeah.
but it's a
Mhm.
completely different way to code around it. So
One thing was also mentioned because it's cut off a little bit. The third weakness is it's dealing with mix of worker harass and pressure, and run bys could also cause difficulties.
Fair enough. Makes sense. Yeah, if you're going back, you're potentially fairly immobile, and that's gonna be a thing. The TVZ stuff won't come into play, I guess, in this matchup anyway. So on the non TVZ for special, to deal with the early all-in rushes from another bot, my bot won't lift the main command center and fly to the opponent's main, which should be destroyed around the time it gets there. Oh, that makes sense too. So the idea is to just ignore like the counter all in and focus on your own all in and see if it works. And then if it does work,
Interesting.
you get to land and your SCVs are already over there because they were helping. So, okay, makes sense. And non TVZ, we'll save for another week because we're not playing it. Yeah, the main purpose of this bot was to showcase the potential of Terran's ability to play reactively in the same way Zerg could, a style I've never seen from any other player, but is easier to do than the meta currently is. This also means I intentionally stayed away from implementing any speed mining. Interesting.
Okay.
So intentionally doing that to show that this is humanly possible, I guess.
I'm guessing
I don't
so.
know.
I guess he wanted this bot to be more human-like
Yeah.
than, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's a bold
It'd
move,
be-
Cotton.
It'd be awesome if he made this entire bot to win an argument on like Team Liquid. like I think Terrence can play more reactive. Like, well, I'll show you. They're like, well, you're in gold. You can't tell us. Well, I'll make a fucking robot that'll do it. You'll see.
I mean, I mean,
excellent strategy. Excellent strategy.
I mean, I think there is a level of which I would like to see more bots that have like more restrictions. But let's see what happens here. I'm curious. Maybe it'll pay off.
We'll see.
We'll
see indeed. So both of them technically the first appearance, although we've had obviously.
I think Demos has come.
I thought Phobos came. The Demos
oh my
came?
God, you're right, Phobos.
See, know your planetary body.
You're right. You're right.
We've had Phobos, but we haven't had Demos.
We have not had Demos. That is okay. Strange.
So kicking things off on a Golden Aura. And yeah, usually I kind of predict like, okay, the bot will do this on this map. We have no idea right now. So we'll see.
I mean, this is a fresh kind of matchup. I feel like these are, and you know what though, kudos. I'm so happy that this late stage ProBots that you were going to see fresh matchups.
Yeah.
There was always a worry that we'd start seeing, seasons would get stale because you just see the same bots over and over again, and things would just look the same. But now we have 3 planetary bodies floating around in ProBots, and all things are better, just gravitating towards them. So there is Phobos and Demos. So I'm excited, and we don't have a countdown timer, so we'll have to assume that production is.
I think they're ready.
They're ready. I mean,
probably.
Right? Production?
Yeah.
If so, then cut to the games.
No, they started the time.
Demos. Arty.
All right, things are getting started pretty quick here. We got a couple of proxy racks already on the way.
Yeah, so this I think is kind of what we expected. That Arty is. I guess he don't think he specifically said it was a proxy racks, just those 2 racks, but makes sense that they would be proxied. And they'll man up here, and you can see he's not adding any more SCVs past the initial. But it looks like Demios will scout this.
Yeah, but the 1 racks is almost done.
Yeah.
So, oh, looks like
Yeah,
he has
he's-
good movement actually to sweep around the barracks and get the SCV. You click directly on the SCV, oftentimes you kind of get stuck moving around it. But yeah, with the 1 barracks done, the SCV gets to defend, which is nice programming out of Arty there. And what's on the way? 2 Marines.
Indeed. And yeah,
Oh, no, a lot more than 2 Marines is on the way. We take a look at the mini map.
yeah, the boys are coming. As he said, I wasn't sure they were going to come that quick, but I guess their intention is to go right away with the first 2. Very often people do kind of accumulate that up, or they just send 1 by 1, but coming in with the first 2 and the boys probably may work out well. He's going to get here obviously before any unit is out and going right for the pylon.
Yeah, I like it. But the probes do come back, so we're going to give it a fight. Yeah. Working in the choke, actually, I like that. As long as the SCVs are actually attacking, which I'm not sure if they are. Oh, they're all chasing after the adept.
Yeah.
So the pros just got so many free hits there. Worker count is down to 5. Another Marine has arrived. That's nice. Looks like the Marines are actually going to survive on the inside of the base as well.
Yeah,
this is looking kind of scary.
It is in that there's still like some Marine firepower alive, but what this has distinct is there's no more coming because he pulled all the boys.
Yeah.
He didn't leave any back at all to continue to mine or do the incremental, and there's kind of what it said in the pre-show too, that any attack he's just going to pick up the CC and go because there's no mining there. He has depowered this, so now it's just a matter of basically can 1 adept come back and end this, and I think yes, but let's see.
Yeah, the probes are kind of like idling.
Yeah,
and
not quite sure what to do.
Some are mining gas, and then 1 comes to run the fronts. Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't look like Demios is ready for this sort of scenario.
Yeah, where is the adept? Is that him at the bottom of the ramp, or is that another? I'm not sure what that is.
I'm not sure. There's something fighting down
see on the
there,
minimap.
like it died, whatever it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So if that was the adept coming home and it actually died, no, he's over there. So now it's just kind of a, does this have code to go home?
Doesn't look that fake.
But
He was
but it
warped
looks
on.
like
He warped on top of
yeah,
himself.
yeah.
So
Yeah. Because I think 1 adept properly microed wins against all this.
yeah, I think that's it. No more mining.
Yeah.
No gateway. I think Arty is taking the game off of Demios.
I wonder if he's going to see any chance at seeing the CC land or come close to this is going to trigger something. Because now Arty's not moving.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna have to talk about
Yeah.
high scenarios. I'm not sure what the
Yeah.
ruling is for a
Okay.
scenario like this.
So
Oh,
the
no.
probes are going back to work, but they can't really do anything. Oh, he's got mining on the lower ground too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, probes
Yeah.
alone can win this.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's
yeah.
2
enough
nearly
of them.
dead SCVs and 3
Yeah.
Marines, and gateways being rebuilt.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
Arty,
that's
you
weird.
You didn't code far enough. You
Yeah.
didn't go deep enough down this rabbit hole of an all-in.
The SCVs could repair each other too, but they're not. Okay. Yeah. Oh, not even fighting back. That's
I think
really weird.
Arty is probably crashed.
Yeah,
Or he's probably
okay.
throwing exceptions because there's literally
Yeah.
no micro going on.
Yeah. It's weird that he's not like he wasn't even auto attack. So yeah, that's.
There's a lot of
strange.
weird this game. The pros are also idle for like
Yeah.
5 minutes,
weird
and then all of
amount
a
of
sudden
time.
they decided not to be idle anymore.
CC does fall. The adept on the other side also started to move again.
Well,
No, he didn't.
no.
Yeah, no. It looked like it, but no.
doesn't matter. Stalkers are
Yeah.
doing the job. Taking that
Yeah.
third base just in case. Yeah,
Yeah.
you never know.
Yeah,
For the
very,
kids through college too. You never.
very strange there. But Demos takes it due to kind of like glitch and counter glitch. I think
Hmm.
the adept coming back should have been enough to win anyway, but it got stuck. Then the attacking army also got stuck, and ultimately Demos wins. So I think had neither of them glitched, I think Demos wins anyway. But with the first Demos glitch,
Yeah.
Arty could have won. It would
would've
take
been
the right
close, to a
micro.
certain-
It would take
Yeah.
the right micro, yeah.
Because there
If
was
he-
no gateway, no pylon, so
Yeah.
he had to win with that one to death.
Yeah, with the one at depth. There was like a super low SCV. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Depending how they attacked, it could have been. And if the probes had come with them, I think it would have been a fine. But
Certainly if he was
But I
staying
don't know.
alive using the shield recharge.
yeah,
Because it was like 3 Marines and 2 weak SCVs left over, I think.
yeah.
Um,
So
Yeah, but it's,
interesting.
yeah, I already had that at one point.
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
There's literally no units
Sure.
left, no mining,
yeah.
no gateway. Unfortunate for him there. And that was you could even make that build a little more optimized too.
Yeah,
He had a third barracks and then left 3 SCVs at home to at least keep the Marine production going.
yeah, I think so too.
And you could just
like,
have non-stop 3 Marines at a time.
yeah, to totally shut it off like that seems unnecessary. Like it's good bringing the boys, it's an option, but to like you need so few to even get like leaving one behind gets you another Marine.
Yeah.
Like really quick, like because he had 25 minerals left, so it's not even perfectly timed out.
It
for
does make
this,
the
but
initial punch a little bit
bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always of the mindset of don't you want to keep the barracks going nonstop?
Yeah, exactly.
However, if he knew that the adept is going to go counterattack, then maybe it's the right move.
Yeah.
Because that extra mining at home wouldn't last very long anyways.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, interesting game.
there we
Let's
go.
see how game 2 goes here.
Stop in.
Demios. Arty.
A little more interesting location for the Oxy this time. Like, if Demos just did a standard scout of like walking across the map, you would see it. But he's not doing that. He's checking all these nearby bases, and he's probably going to scout it like not at all or very late.
That's always ironic. The scouting for the proxy misses the proxy.
Yeah.
Which I guess is like again, if you counterplay someone specifically, you can know that that's what they do. They don't come across. They check first and then move.
When he's going across from that base
Yeah,
location too, so he's
exactly.
still going to miss it.
Yeah.
Well, he'll arrive and see no workers, and then he'll be like, "Oh, I'm well ahead."
Yep. The boys are coming across. We got a pretty similar setup here. Again, single pylon out in the open.
First 2 Marines have popped. The third will be very close behind, and there he goes. Now for a couple more SCVs. He is corner based in the gateway.
Big, much better initial engagement here.
Yeah.
Like he's really shredding this stuff. But then, yeah, I think we'll chase down the adept a lot more.
He got the adept this time, didn't
Yeah.
he? Or did it jump away?
Did it? I didn't see if it jumped or.
Either way, there wasn't
Yeah,
all that.
yeah, it jumped across.
Okay.
It
So he didn't
wants
get
to
all that
go.
free damage with the probes this
Yeah.
time, so there's a lot more Marines and SCVs remaining.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't even think a single Marine went down.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Oh, and-
Stalker does die immediately.
Yeah, flank of the new
Yeah.
Marine is able to pick off the Stalker.
Yeah.
Stalker is one of those units you can kind of get infinite damage as long as he's abusing its range. I love the targeting, like
Yeah.
the prioritizing of the
selection.
pylons.
Yeah, definitely. And then there we get the adept. And if it just kind of gets stuck, I don't think it matters this time. There's way too much here.
And Demos is broke. Plenty of gas, but yeah, he's not going to be able to build from that gateway or that robo. Looks like we're speeding up now. This game is not over yet, as we've seen in game 1. The question is, can Arty close it out this time?
Yep.
He's got so many units.
Should be like, unless he goes and like sits like you said, unless there's a straight up bug that he just freezes or something breaks. Like obviously, yeah, he's moving on everything. Should be okay this time.
You can never tell, right? Last time he
Yeah.
just kind of stopped. And if he stops away from the Nexus, then the pros will start mining again.
Yeah, it's more that he's still moving, I guess. He's actually got stuff at every building, so they don't even have to do anything. They just have to continue doing what they're already doing.
Yeah, I like that the Nexus is going to die before the other structures, because I want to see what happens when this command center lands, or if it even lands. You're gonna start mining? Oh yes, I love it. Uh-oh.
Okay.
The Marines
Okay.
have stopped though. I think he still has units attacking the last two
that was
structures.
the key.
Yeah.
The fact that he's already attacking them, I think,
Yeah.
I think is key. And like, you can't screw that up. Yeah, because they were just going to stop. So yeah, if these two SUVs had been pulled off or whatever, oh, even those guys, new building ones, are not coming. Yeah, that could have gone bad, but yeah, once I saw he had things already attacking all 5 structures, I figured we were safe.
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we already, our first match of the season, we're already facing game 3.
Yep.
I love it.
There we go. Rubber match indeed. And yeah, now I have no idea what's going to happen because Arty is definitely liable to break. So even though he still won that, he definitely broke.
Mm-hmm.
And Demios, who knows? Demios, it looks like that Adept will break. But yeah.
And that was like everything going right for Arty that game too. He didn't get scouted. Like when the Adepts popped out, the probes didn't get all those free hits. So
Indeed.
and then the Stalker got flanked, so the Stalker immediately died as well. So yeah, I expect game 3 to probably be somewhere in the middle of game 1 and game 2, so anyone could take it.
Let's see. We're going on to Gresvin. Let's get going.
Demios. Arty.
So if someone told me to like make a sock puppet, or a potato,
Ooh.
I'm pretty sure that Demos picture would be like dead on.
That seems about right. Now we're getting something drastically different here. We're getting a forge coming down first for Demos.
Oh.
And that's interesting. How will the timing of that work out? A single cannon getting up would be pretty deadly.
Yeah.
If done defensively. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. Deimos, of course, the second moon of Mars. He has submitted the first moon of Mars in past seasons. And prior to that, the second largest dwarf planet in the solar system. And as someone had mentioned in chat, we could now, all his bots would create a 3-body problem.
There you go.
And impossible to predict.
Still my favorite sci-fi book of all time.
Seems, I haven't read it. I think we've talked about this before, but yeah, I haven't read it, but I like the show, and it's got me intrigued for more.
Yeah, it goes so much further. Like
Yeah.
I hope they're able to pull it off somehow.
Cool. We've got another cannon coming down. Still just the single pylon, but I think I don't know. He seemed drawn to attacking units and stuff. So let's see how this goes. And yeah, going right for the cannon itself. The second one building. Let's see how that goes.
Yeah, Marines
Doing
having a
doing
little bit
good
trouble
job.
getting range, so they're not attacking at their fastest.
Yeah.
Probes are not being pulled this time, which
Yeah.
is both good and bad. So he's going to have a lot more money to build things with. But if that pylon goes down, what do you do with that money?
Yeah, exactly. He's the Stargate over here, so
Yeah.
maybe doesn't need that. But
And we have a
Yeah, at
battery
what
and a
Yeah.
cannon going up. Remember, there's only a limited amount of
Yeah.
SCVs are going to, or a
Yeah,
limited amount of
exactly.
Marines are going to get here, as there's no mining going on for Arty.
Yeah, yeah. So the 6 that you see is going to be it. 3 really, really damaged SCVs. There's the 7th coming in. I think that's the last guy.
Okay, he did catch sight of these new structures, but does he have enough to take them down? I'm not sure.
Yeah, coming into range. I think with the battery there, it's going to soak up a lot of time, and he's not going like right for the cannons. And now there's 2 up. There's no way to surround 2 cannons.
Yeah,
and deal with it.
And well, there is no production from the Stargate at the moment. So if the mining can get shut down somehow, that might be enough.
He may want to go right to carrier because
that fleet beacon?
He's building a fleet beacon.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now we're losing stuff. This time, oh, this is interesting too. I was like, if that command center was going to land, the cannons are right there to hit it. But of course, no adept was made, so it never took off. So Arty is now going back with his last worker to just resume the game.
That's going to be a tough one.
Yeah. So now it's what's Demios doing.
Yeah, Demios is he's got enough money for anything he wants. He could build a mothership if he wanted to. Like,
yeah,
he's got all the money in the world, but he's not spending it.
Yeah, is there a prerequisite somehow, somewhere of the gateway has to be up in order for me to build this carrier, or what? And then does Arty have a backup plan? Marines hanging out with the dog, but not doing anything. More Marines being built.
Interestingly, not more SCVs being built though.
Yeah.
So this is going to be Marines, like 1 Marine a minute. Yeah, Demios is a brand new bot. Like, yeah, in like a standard game, he can beat the best bots on the ladder, but you put him in these crazy scenarios in a brand new bot, you may not have coded for these weird edge cases, and this can happen. So, I mean, I guess this probably favors Arty, because like he does have,
if he's
like, he will max out on Marines, right?
Yeah, okay, and they are going finally. Yeah. So yeah, he could do this, and
it happens very slowly. But if Demios is never going to actually,
are they just long distance mining now?
Yeah, very long distance, not to the natural, but to like the 3rd or 4th base.
Yeah, interesting scenario. Now, is he going to resume the attack? There are units in the base here. He's kind of ring around the rosying the 3 cannons. They are double covered by a pylon. At least 2 of them are. So could pick these off, but there should theoretically be almost an infinite, like for 1 SCV to mine out the whole patch on the other side and keep making SCV or Marines. It could happen, but then honestly, his ones in the natural aren't moving anymore.
I could see this game going like an hour, because that feels like Arty will eventually win, but he needs to build Marines off of an economy of 1 SCV, so it's going to take so long.
Yeah. And there is a point that's just a pure actual, like obviously a pure stalemate of, if your Marines don't get there en masse, then 1 coming in at a time will never kill a cannon before the shields recharge. Yeah. But if he's got a group in, he can. Like. Yeah. So if these all move over, well, then he can start whittling that down. Yep.
And like, if a human took over, Demios definitely still wins this game even without a Nexus, because
you just make a
you got plenty of supply to make things out of the Stargate. You got plenty of resources. You can't make the carrier anymore because you lost the fleet beacon. But
settle for go for Oracle, just style on them.
Okay.
No move.
What a weird game to start this off with.
It is indeed. I think he's almost.
All right, Marine production has started again.
Okay. Moving closer.
A bit of shield damage.
This is what I was saying. Shield damage, but then it goes back up. So this was the potential long-term trap. If they don't mass enough to kill 1, and they don't come back fast enough to keep it down, then they might never win.
Oh, it takes so long for him to make a single Marine.
Yeah.
Yeah, whoever's observing, just keep that 8x going until you see a movement on the minimap. Okay,
Yeah.
there we go. Okay, one pylon down. One cannon takes a lot of hull damage.
Yeah, a lot of
so that's a big deal.
Yeah.
It will regen all the shields, but
the pylon in particular also really matters because he's no longer got the backup pylon. So he never quite has to come into full range.
so on ladder, there's a 1 hour limit to games. I'm not sure if that's been turned off for ProBots or not, but this might be one of these games where it's fighting the clock.
Yeah. I think this group will, if he takes out the first cannon,
And maybe
he should be able to kill the pylon at range without ever engaging
Yeah.
the second set, right? And then it's a win.
I think if you place a structure directly against a cannon, a 2x2 structure, then a Marine
it's
can't
in
kill
range.
it without being in range.
I think there's is it touching or is there a gap?
But even if it's like
Yeah.
right against it on angle, you can still kill it. It's only if it's like direct.
There's a bit of a.
I don't think there's a
we'll
gap.
see.
That's like that's a
I
weird
think that's just
perspective.
how it
of,
is. Yeah.
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 I think that one cannon on the bottom at least.
Yeah.
Will shoot. Oh, he's going after the pylon this time.
Yeah.
Okay, a lot of hull damage. If he gets it, it's
Alright.
over.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
close.
he's got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he's got to attack now.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
waiting for more Marines, I
now
think.
at least I think he will.
Okay,
Once
so
it-
game one, I don't think it's glitched out. I think he was waiting for more Marines, but he didn't
Yeah.
have an income, so it just stopped.
Yeah.
So I think he'd work okay here. I think he'll build his one Marine a minute, and around the 50-minute mark, this game will be over.
Yeah.
And Arty will be taking his first ProBot series ever.
And which is worse, a glitch that you didn't intend, or just a bad decision that you did intend? Like, I want all my Marines to stop doing anything until there's more. Isn't a great decision, but yeah, I think he will eventually make it again.
Yeah, I mean it's like a weird game, obviously, but at the same time, this is your very first ProBots appearance, and you just beat the #1 bot on the ladder
Yeah,
in a best of
for
series.
sure.
So
Yeah.
really
Can't
impressive.
complain.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Arty knocking Demios into the losers match right off the bat in a 2-1 kind of glitchy on both sides game. Not even kind of, just straight up. Arty kind of glitching out with the walk forward, and Demios just not building anything. It was the main key there. Like at some point had 7,000 gas and just didn't build anything.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
no-
Something
no
is missing
reason.
something in its logic there. Maybe it's this
Yeah.
fact that no Cybercore or something. It
I
was
think so. Yeah.
had some other priority. I'm not sure what happened, but yeah.
Yeah.
You would think if you're going all the way to Fleet Beacon, you'd at least start building after Fleet Beacon. There's no more tech you can do. You can't wait any longer at that point.
For sure.
But, yeah.
Yeah, we've seen that happen before where like some underlying thing of like we must have this. It's like if we're at 12 or more workers and there's a gateway, build a carrier, and then there was no gateway. Like we've seen that sort of logic crash, or like add-on wasn't there and they just never considered that it would be destroyed, and so the whole thing just stops. So it had that feel to it. But yeah, congrats to Arty for. We often get this sort of thing, the veteran versus like the newbie player, and it tends to go one way, but here we get the flip around. So there we go for match number 1. Queuing up number 2 here. We've got Sharkbot versus SharpenedEdge, both veterans at this point. SharpenedEdge kind of like the ultra veteran.
Yeah. SharpenedEdge, maybe. Is he the oldest bot in terms of like not having any code changes that's still able to qualify for ProBots? I think
Yeah,
so. I think he's older than
possibly.
MicroMachine.
Yeah,
He's
I think that may be the case. Yeah.
Ria Lover had that title for a while, but eventually he got knocked
Yeah.
out of the top 16.
Yeah.
Because, active bots usually start surpassing the inactive ones.
Yeah.
SharpenedEdge, just a very solid bot across the board, and he's been able to hold his ground.
Indeed. I think he started off with basically is one of the few bots that kind of just uses everything. Yeah, Sharkbot here in a land where the sun shines bright. There lies an ocean, a wondrous sight. Waves of cheddar so golden and grand, a cheesy delight across the land. That's his
Dude.
strategy, is to recite poetry at you.
Yeah.
And cheese, obviously.
He does cheese a lot, but he doesn't have
yeah.
to. It's actually...
No, he doesn't. Yeah.
I would say, like, at least in TVP, he's the toughest macro bot for my bot to face. I think even more than -0.
Yeah.
So, but he loves his cheese.
Yeah.
As we see here.
Monkey cheese attracts bugs.
That is also true, as we've seen that very recently.
Does happen. Does happen indeed. It's a learning method. It describes itself as a reinforcement learner. I think this refers more to his chatbot. Reads the internet forums, Discord, BattleNet chat rooms, YouTube comments. Oh, you mean StarCraft? Yeah. So basically, looks for. I think this is very much a human learning method than anything. So yeah, looking around for cheesy things to do and yeah, units to compare and so on. So yeah, I think generally has been one of the more creative ones in terms of what's going to work, and then what's going to work against bots in particular. Two adepts, sleek and blue, their psionic blades shimmering true. Across the field they swiftly stride, the resonating discs at their side. With practice grace they take their aim at hapless workers, their chosen game. In perfect sync they start to glow, preparing shots to lay foes low. A flash of light, a brilliant beam, the workers scatter with a scream. There's probably more to this, but it doesn't scroll down.
Yeah, the SCVs have already closed the book at this point.
Yeah,
It's like, I don't want to read any more of this.
At least it ends at the end of a sentence with the period, but there's probably more below that. But Sharkbot loves his poetry. And yeah, started off as a StarCraft Brood War chatbot on BattleNet. Then it was
is that where it was? Okay.
Yeah, then it was a DJ and a moderator. A DJ? I played some Slither and other games. Now I'm a Discord troll and play StarCraft 2. Probably the only bot that controls the camera. That's actually an interesting point.
Is he really? That's interesting.
Yeah.
Is
there a benefit to that? Yeah, like what's the...
There's this whole layer called the feature layer, which you can do things like that, like interact with the screen like a human does. We usually just ignore that. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, you can't like drop individual units out of medevacs and bunkers and stuff unless you use the feature layer. So a lot of us have implemented it just for that one feature. Because the API itself only has like unload all. There's no...
Right. So yeah, SharpenedEdge, like you said, no updates as of late, and endgame seems rather weak compared to other high-end bots. But SharpenedEdge does kind of control everything. Like I think it was one of the first bots to use like most, if not all, units.
Yeah, it's got quite a few different strategies as well.
Yeah, indeed. So a lot of versatility depending what it hits. Yeah, made on the Sharpie SC2 framework. Perhaps it's better to say the Sharpie SC2 framework was made out of the coding architecture that this bot was originally made with. And yeah, so the ease of making new builds and strategies and then selection of them. I think that's the key to its longevity, is the ability to be making the right decision of which one to use without outside interference. And then having a lot coded in means it can just adapt as the meta has changed.
Yeah, it is definitely chooses off of history. I remember when I first made my bot, I would lose the SharpenedEdge every single game. It would can rush me and kill me. And then I finally beat it in can rush and it switched to a different strategy and beat me every single time. And then I finally beat that one and it switched to another strategy and beat me every time. So it was like this, so many layers of impossible to beat was it with SharpenedEdge back in the day.
And yeah, like you said, so Sharpie hasn't really had active development in the last 2 or 3 years, just maintaining the Sharpie repro to make sure it works on the current version of the maps played in the AI arena. So yeah, has to be maintained, but no real changes done to it.
Yeah, Python authors are very lucky. Their base framework is very strong, and then they have the option of SharpenedEdge, which does a lot of things for you, and you can still overload it to kind of do your own things, and then, or you can use the Aries framework, which is like almost like this amazing toolkit. So you still get to decide what to do, but like the details of how to do things is so much easier.
stuff. So yeah,
Works there.
going on to Site Delta, then Oceanborn, and if needed, Hard Lead. And yeah, it looked like Sharkbot had vetoed a couple. Given that it tends to go more with the cheese potential stuff, the map positioning and everything matters a fair bit. So vetoed a couple of the weird maps, I guess you could say.
Nice. All right, it's in perfect timing. So we're hitting the 3, 2, 1 here. So let's
Indeed.
hop right into the next game.
Get in there.
Our first game, I should say.
Sharkbot. SharpenedEdge.
I got a flashback to the anime One Punch Man. The point where like one of the muscular S-class heroes gets like attacked by these steel drills or something, and it's like you can't pierce him because his muscles are stronger than steel.
Makes sense.
And that's what those images reminded me of, like this buff shark and a sword.
Sounds right.
Like normally I'd pick the sword, but that's a really buff looking shark. Maybe he's stronger than steel.
Quite possible. Quite possible. I've only watched a little of that show. I think I got the gist of it, but I'll check it out again someday.
I don't know why. I can't defend it, but it is one of my favorite animes.
Yeah. It seemed good. I always get I'd prefer watching things with subtitles instead of the dub or whatever, but I also won't ever sit and only do one thing.
No, that's
So
double
me
that.
putting on yeah, exactly. So like putting something on and actually having to watch it and read it is a problem for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like it's almost like it's spoofing anime is what I
Yeah,
thought it was. But then
yeah.
it's also kind of a serious story, and it had really good animation for at least for the first season. So I don't know, I really enjoyed it. It got me into it, even though I didn't think it would be. Stargate going down here for Sharkbot is interesting. As the Cybercore is just finishing up for SharpenedEdge. The Sharkbot's always my my outside pick to win the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's like if a bot wins it that we don't expect it, it's probably going to be Sharkbot, and then of course I'm always wrong. But I still maintain that one of these days he's going to surprise everyone.
Certainly.
There's a lot of things that Sharkbot does really well.
I think Sharkbot does a lot of like Sharkbot's more of a showman than like just plain trying to win. And so I think there's times where Sharkbot does something that's more amusing instead of more successful,
Mm-hmm.
kind of on purpose. So
Speaking of which, there is an Oracle on the way, which
Yeah.
is so far,
yeah,
even the history of ProBots has been more amusing than useful. Dev's getting in there though. This little probe attack, but not getting much done. Stalker will be able to come assist. Canceling those shades. So a lot of worker kills, so great progress already, even if he doesn't get another one kill. But Stalker's derping a little, so
they'll grab another before shading on out, but two more coming back in.
oh my goodness, yeah.
Stalker will chase.
This is not gonna end. I mean, Stalkers do beat a death, but will there be any robes left at the end of this? And here comes an Oracle, actually. Oracle v
pretty
Micro
good,
Will?
pretty
What
good.
is going on here?
Super weird.
This is not ProBots.
No.
Moving shot and everything. I love it.
Really sacrifices life, but
Yeah.
not a lot, enough kills to definitely make that worth. And we've only got 8 workers on SharpenedEdge's side.
So there's this new, I guess he says decoy. There's this new meta in the next balance patch, actually, for Protoss. And it was actually a Terran player, Clem, who came up with it.
Yeah.
But use the new energy overcharge, which on your sentries, to give your sentries like infinite energy. and he's using it to hallucinate probes.
Okay,
Because you get
yeah.
4 probes, so then
Yeah.
then you just have spotters on the map at all times.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I used to
I
do
would
that.
never guess that would be a thing people
Yeah,
would
to use them as spotters is interesting. That when you first said it, I was like the block, because that used to be a thing of like you'd come in with a few sentries that had gained energy and then like stalkers behind it, but you just create like 20 something probes in front of you, charge forward, and then hit stop position on the probes. And if your opponent had detection, the AI would freak out because it wouldn't attack them because it knows they're not real. And like, yeah, so that used to be way back a decent thing to do. But yeah, that's interesting.
The one advantage. Oh, that's blocking them. Oh, actually, no, it's not. Yeah, I guess the only advantage of probes is just the number of units you get.
Yeah.
I think that's the only hallucination you get 4. There's some you get 2, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess you always get 4 supply. Maybe that's how it works.
Yeah, that
No,
might
that's
be
not.
it.
That's not true.
It can't
either.
be. Yeah, because a Phoenix.
Yeah, Phoenix and Oracle are not 4.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's arbitrary. I don't know how they decide. Archon's good as like a tanky thing, but it was the mechanics at the time, at least, of like Pro being a non-combat unit that it would just kind of freak things out.
So worker count is 35 to 12, very much in Sharkbot's. It's very much Sharkbot's game to lose at this point, we'll say. But the beautiful thing about bot games is no matter how one side of the game looks, you never know how it's going to end.
Yeah.
This takes one bug or one very bad decision making. Oh, I love the Oracle play's really good.
Yeah, running away from the stasis.
Really send one into it. Accidentally. Like,
yeah, not too bad.
Oh, okay, she got 3.
3 caught. Yeah, the activated area is bigger than the circle.
I see.
Yeah.
Yes, I love in the Oracle play. That starter step micro with the Oracle is not easy to do with a bot because since it's a beam weapon, we don't really know when it's off cooldown. You got to kind of manually code that. But probably the only thing it's missing is its ability to just keep itself alive. It's got to learn to flee when it's getting low.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm loving the stasis wards. The moving shot with the pulsar beam is awesome.
And there's a hallucination as well.
Like, you've been casting ProBots for a long time. How many oracles do you think have been made, and how many units do you think they've killed?
It probably made like several dozen killed. I think we've seen 80% of all deaths in this game. There was one. There was one game actually we did see a lot, but it was a late game, already won sort of situation.
Oh, okay.
Where he ended up getting like 30 kills. But yeah, for very, very rare. I think Sharkbot may be the only one that's had an initial oracle that killed more than like 5.
Okay. Well, we may not say any more of this game because I think we have the finishing blow coming here. Looks like Void Rays want to go straight into the main while everyone else has to follow the terrain through the natural that does. Void Rays from SharpenedEdge coming out, but a little bit on the late side at this point. Yeah, everyone turns on their beam, so that's going to be good for the 3v1. Good at math.
Yeah, really insightful. Yeah.
I was thinking maybe if SharpenedEdge turned on the beam and then then maybe he picks up 1 or 2 before he dies or something. That beam is like so good against armored units.
Yeah.
Not sure what it does. It's got to be at least double damage, right?
Yeah, it's correct. Yeah. Yeah, which makes it really neat. Like it annihilates a lot of the things that are meant to be the counter of it if you just catch them for a second. SharpenedEdge also has not updated its joke since the 1960s. But, pretty good. So yeah, Sharkbot taking that one out. A lot of it coming obviously from that initial damage. of both the Adepts and Oracles coming into play. Brought them down to only 7 probes at one point, and yeah, that's pretty hard to come back from. Given how far down the economy actually got, that wasn't even too bad at the end, but yeah, definitely took a toll there.
Yeah, very nice from the Oracles and the Depths. I would have liked the Stalkers to be a little less tentative out of Sharpened Edge, but
Yeah.
I think even if they were just going straight after the Adepts and killing them as fast as possible, I still think that would have been game-winning damage out of Sharkbot. So
Yeah.
really impressive harass on his end.
Indeed, and I think we are ready for game number 2 on Oceanborn. See if Sharkbot has the same sort of aggressive economic killing opening.
Sharkbot. SharpenedEdge.
Two probes passing in the night.
I think they talk to each other. Maybe.
Maybe. Some sort of a electrical signal, maybe.
For all when it's like the same race one here, for all we know, like they're related.
Hmm.
You know?
Which one was the rebellious brother who joined the other side?
Probably the younger one. They're always trouble.
Yeah, I'm the...
I'm the older one.
Okay. In that case, I'll pick the winner of each matchup as whoever you don't pick.
All right. Okay. We'll just agree that neither side of these Protoss is the Confederates. Fine.
Nice progress here, actually. See how it's
Yeah.
switching back and forth between the two mineral patches?
Yeah.
The interruption in the mining on both of them will never actually picking up a mineral. So that
Yeah.
way you can maintain it going and going.
Yeah, that's a really good little skill. I've seen other bots kind of start to do that for a bit, but then after like a few, it screws up and they do pick one up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we kept that going for a while.
And I feel like the way speed mining typically works for most bots is you kind of assign 2 workers to a mineral anyways, so
Yeah.
you never actually bounce them off.
Yeah.
You would still prevent them from mining for a second, or however time you're taking up the mineral pad. It wouldn't mess them up like a human would, like it would a human would. ProBots opening in depths this time. That's an interesting change. Adepts do kill Adepts quickly, so that might help them not lose a bunch of probes.
Indeed. Yeah, that does help. However, if there were to be a follow-up Oracle, Adept's much less effective against those.
Yeah, and it looks like those Adepts are crossing the map anyways, so it's going to be 2 sides harassing each other with Sharkbot getting the first licks in.
Indeed.
Probes dying one at a time. I think probably heading to the natural for some reason to build this pylon or something. But just running into their death.
Is that just a
Oh,
full,
full wall
off?
out of
Yeah, full
Sharkbot.
wall. Yeah.
I know he loves throwing down shield batteries as a temporary wall. Of course, if there's no opportunity to cancel it, then he'll let it finish as well. Shield battery is one of those structures that walls off much better than a pylon, just because how fast it generates hit points. I hope there's more probes than that. Okay.
Yeah, we still got
Down to
10, but
9,
still
okay.
pretty low, 8. And yeah, will they break in? There comes the
And now
Oracle,
the
and with
Oracle as
one,
well.
yeah, with only one Oracle, or one Stalker, try and stop this. Pretty tough. And down to 4 workers, 3 workers.
Yeah, that moving
2.
shot is just perfect.
Yeah.
He's got that like frame perfect almost.
Yeah, got him down to 0 there now, and I don't know. Well, there's no more minerals, so that's going to be it.
So the downside for Sharkbot is his depths are looking for things to kill, and he's not finding anything.
Yeah.
He's just kind of shitting around. He's like, "Where's the targets?"
Indeed.
Well played. Yeah, that when that depth was doing the moving shot, it wasn't even slowing down. I was like, that was perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, perfect little stutter step there, staying right on top of them. And yeah, now just kind of playing cat and mouse with that one stalker. Is that caught in a stasis field? Yeah. Fun. Multiple oracles came out.
The other weird thing about microing oracles is that they can only turn at a certain rate.
Yeah.
So you may not be able to like with our units, you can't just click them to a place and they'll go straight there. They'll turn slowly, unless you click behind them, in which case they'll always do exactly a 180-degree turn. So
Okay.
yeah,
That's interesting.
so it's pretty implicit. It's pretty easy to figure out as a human, but as for bots, it must be like annoying if you're trying to do very precise movements.
For sure. Yeah, that
Yeah,
does
very
add up
impressive about Sharkbot. I
complication.
loved the harass there.
Yeah,
Basically
pretty,
securing 2 wins almost instantaneously.
indeed. Yeah, it's effective. I think we've always kind of known, like in a bot's hands, that sort of like multi-pronged and very micro-based like harassment is going to be pretty effective, unless someone has equally impressive harassment on the other side, or like, and there the full wall off kind of prevented that from happening. So pretty good. Sharkbot also moving into the winners match, and SharpenedEdge gonna have to try and claw out on the loser side of things. And with that, I think we're going to a short break before we come back with match 3 and 4 of the night. See. Hello, hello. We are back here after the lovely break. On to match number 3 and 4 of the night. After 2 reasonably quick, well, I say quick, but one of them was technically over 30 minutes, but we just sped up most of it.
Not at 8 times speed, it isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now we got match 3. We got Xena versus the new Batu robots in terrain.
Indeed.
Xena's had a couple really interesting shows on PostBots showing off some of the really cool technical things this bot can do. Veteran to the scene. Probably the favorite here. It's usually the veteran bot versus the new bot, but I'm not actually sure where these two rank on the ladder, so I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, Xena's definitely made like jumps, leaps and bounds forward in the last season. Yeah, weakness, defense, just in general, and late game air. Special abilities of advanced resource allocation, making it easy to create robust and optimized builds. And we definitely saw a big jump into that as we saw more late game play out of Xena last season.
Yeah, you see some of like the systems this bot has set up. It's like, why isn't he winning like every single ProBot?
Yeah.
He definitely has the
I mean,
underlying like
yeah,
the framework of the bot or whatever. It's super strong. It's just he
yeah.
spends the time on the niche details, I guess.
Also, just being a random bot, I think then you end up spending more time on that stuff instead of
That's
optimizing.
gotta learn 9 matchups or whatever. It's difficult.
Indeed it is. And the opponent, Terrain, represented by a robot in the rain, which is even more confusing because we're getting multiple play on words of terrain.
There you go.
Terran AI, terrain. Either way, and we just zoom through that because nothing. .NET Core. I think I've heard of that, but I've never. Is that the only bot we've got?
We have Tier, who's in .NET, and then the Sharky framework is on .NET. So Sharkbot and whatever bot's using that.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, like C# is part of .NET.
Oh, okay.
It's like one syntax of it. I think that's how it works. I'm not 100%.
Okay. Cool.
At least it was way back in the day. That's how it worked. But yeah, he's saying .NET Core, not Sharky. So maybe he's just doing his own implementation.
Yeah, possible. Sure. I want to see one coded in COBOL.
There's another one too. There's like Abathur was like his old bot author, and he created a framework for .NET or C#. I can't remember. So yeah, it would have been nice if there's a little bio there to explain all this stuff because I'm just
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
not doing it right. But
We'll see.
yeah,
We'll
this will
get
be interesting.
we'll get more info in the future. Yeah. Is he in the channel? Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What's he
I
saying?
don't have my chat up though. Where's my chat?
I hit it. I look at the games. Happens.
Who's the author? Winter? Oh yeah, there he is. Oh, Sharky Framework. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I'm too stupid to make it myself. That's most of us.
Either way, good stuff. But yeah, these two, I don't totally know what to expect. Obviously, out of our new bot, our Rainy Terran friend. So I guess we're just gonna have to kind of jump in and find out. And given that Xena's random, that's hard to predict what's gonna happen there either.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we're not gonna have much insight going in. We'll try and talk about it afterwards.
Yeah.
Xena. Terrain.
And so he just stole Mad AI, changed the name, and uploaded it as his own bot. I'm not sure what the purpose of that was because it was immediately caught every time. But
It's fun. Fun
I
times.
still just remember reading a comment like, "Stop stealing my bot" or something like that in Discord. I'm saying that's weird.
If there's one thing I learned in all games, people love cheating. Like, spend a day on like the Carl Jobs YouTube channel. And
Yeah, but like it's not like he stole MicroMachine or something.
yeah,
I don't-
exactly. Yeah,
like, it was
yeah,
just,
that's
like,
weird.
there's a weird. Yeah, I would like to know his
Yeah.
reasoning behind it. But anyways, it looks like we got attack going in on the
Yes.
natural here. We got look like 3 or 4 Marines.
And we kind of got both, as that was just a scouting probe or a scouting SCV on Xena's side there as well. We see things almost like it's attacking the exit or the command center. Yeah, we've lost our observer, so we legitimately are going to have to do this off the minimap. So
Or restart.
So basically, something is okay. There we go.
I think it was actually a Reaper that was going across the map.
Yeah,
So
that makes sense because it's still hitting there. You could see the flash up. But yeah, Marines break it through this front line here. SCV's coming out to stop it, but there's certainly a lot of them there. And you can see Terrain is not only supply blocked, but deeply in trouble and unable to. He's kind of pulling SCVs, but they're not doing anything. They're not like attacking. And you can see that stream of Marines continuing to come across the map. Which
I was trying to follow what you were saying there, but I had my headset turned on for like the casting crew. It's like it's like mission control when you're under attack.
Yeah.
Like, so many people tell you what different things.
sounds about right. Sounds about right. Okay, now we're
But
just
yeah,
are we
looking really
just
good for
paused
Xena
now?
here. And I don't see
Okay.
any I didn't see any flashing in the bottom right either, so I think that Reaper might have gotten picked off. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Probably. There were Marines being made on that side. It would make sense that he eventually may get caught.
Yeah, I feel like it might have even been an SCV who got him, because I saw him get, like, surrounded very slightly. Anyways, Command Center is going for a little trip, but he has a tail of a bunch of red Marines behind him, so he's not going to go for too long. Tech Lab going down. I guess that was for siege tanks. Yeah, nice little swarm by Xena.
Yep. So we will see the end of it here as Xena going with the cheesy approach right away. If it works, it works. And no late game necessary in that one.
Yeah. And we may not have seen it there, but Xena's bot's actually... his control is so good that his Marines are actually aware of where other Marines are around it.
Yeah.
So it like manually creates like a concave and doesn't get into each other's way. So it's
That's
yeah,
a
if we actually
key.
see it in
Yeah.
a battle, like a proper like Marine versus Marine battle or something, you'll probably see like how better of a concave it gets.
Yeah.
While keeping all the Marines in attacking range.
Yeah, particularly noticeable when you do go into bases like that, because very often people's armies will stop on the ramp and block your own troops from also coming up. And yeah, it does a slightly better job of distributing itself and yeah, considering the feelings of others, I guess.
Yeah. All right, so a quick one for Xena there. So the nice thing about a random bot is that you'll never likely not see the same thing in game 2.
Yeah.
So let's see what if terrain can get past the early cheese, but it actually has built up into the bot, as we didn't get to see much out of them.
Yeah, unclear, particularly with the observer issue. Not entirely sure what we were.
I mean, it looks like it has
there.
Reaper scouting, and the Reaper gets damage done, so those are really good things right off the bat. And if it can survive at home, or if he doesn't get cheesed, there might be a really good strong follow-up. So, but the nice thing about this group stage is it's not like one and done. Even if he gets cheesed out again, we'll get to see him one more time. And we know Demios. It seems no, he's probably in a different division, but or a different group. But yeah, it'll probably be an easier opponent next round.
Indeed, and yeah, presumably in the background they're trying to fix that observer problem so that we don't have the same sort of thing occur. So we'll see if that does work better for us this time. And yeah, not knowing the matchup, we won't. Not knowing the matchup and without much of an idea of what terrain was trying to do there. You could see in game the terrain with the proper capitalization happening.
Oh, there you go. With the emphasis on the AI.
With the AI, yeah.
There you go.
AI cap stuff.
There's another one like that, but there's one bot we had like a bot called Veteran, but it had 2 R's, so it was like Vet Terrain or Vet Terran. I mean,
yeah, sounds right. I think we may be ready now, so let's hop into the second game.
Xena. Terrain.
all right, so no cheese this time, as we got a hatch first out of Xena.
Indeed, we do.
Veteran's actually a bot that's completely open sourced right now, so, and it's a beautiful code. If you want to see really clean code, you can check out his GitHub and written in Go. You know, the language for the cool kids.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
And still a very strong bot.
Yeah, definitely nice that some of them still do things that way. I know that that's often been a debate, I think, of like, should you make your code available, or are people just going to use it like counter program against you directly? But yeah, it's nice that some do to help others learn.
Yeah, I've been dying to see Dominion Dog's
Yeah.
bot code. He doesn't want to share it,
Yeah.
but I would never use it for competitive reasons, and I just know he's a much more senior developer than me.
Mm,
So I want to really see how he structures his bot code.
indeed.
I want to see the architecture. But it was handy, like Kaninana. No, not Kaninana, sorry, Kagamini. He was a Java bot author from a long time ago.
Yeah.
So he made his bot open source, and that was really helpful for me as starting out, building my bot. Just as something to reference, is just like, okay, how do I repair with an SCV or something, and I can just. Well, his was a Zergbot, so that's a bad example. But like, how do you do a patrol or something? I can check his bot, see where this code is. Yeah, so here's that Reaper harass. Yeah, so it is very nice, as you can see his constant movement, and he's not chasing down the drones, but he's keeping his Reaper very safe, which is nice. Nice work out of Xena though to keep those drones alive. He hasn't lost a single one yet. And with the queen arriving,
Yeah, chasing it off to the side. Yeah, it does lose a lot of mining time in doing that, although it's probably better than losing the drones directly. And yeah, it does get cleaned up there.
like you said, that's not zero damage economically, because that was like 6-7 workers off the line for quite a while. It's kind of like when you do a Widow Mine drop and you only kill one probe, you still have the advantage of making all the probes run away for a few seconds. So they still 1-on-1 out of Arain here.
Yes,
He's already working on his Starport tech lab.
indeed. Destiny Labs. No rhyme or reason behind that. It just is.
Oh man, have you seen what's happened to Husky in recent days?
He's
He's gone like full influencer.
Yeah, the blonde hair and you see him rarely. I see his wife tweet a lot.
Oh yeah.
She's gone full anti Mr. Beast. Weird.
Well, she was anti Mr. Beast before it was the cool thing. Right?
Yeah, well, she was one of the
She
first.
like
to
accused
do
him all
that.
this stuff, and
Yeah.
then everyone's like, "Who
Yeah.
are you? Like, why would you
Yeah.
claim all these things about him?" And then it turns out it was all true.
Yeah, yeah. It's fun. I never didn't believe her. I just didn't care
Yeah.
because her original complaint was like, "Do you know that his videos are fake?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I do. Like, do you think
I
I'm
thought
an
that was
idiot?
obvious, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Going after the rocks here. They're in the old speed path. Xena later on, and we get a medevac out. You're gonna get some
Cool.
sort of cool drop play.
No, he was speeding
No.
like he had somewhere.
Yeah,
important to
like,
be,
that's-
but he's
that's
like,
it.
Nah, I'm just hanging out here.
It seemed like there was urgency, but there was not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of do it with my medevacs too. It's like if I need to travel a far distance, it's like just turn on the
Let's
boost.
do it.
Same thing with my Hellions. If I want to get them somewhere far away, or Hellbats, I mean, if I want to get them somewhere far, it's like just convert them to a Hellion and then turn them back when they get close. The speeding just for the purpose of.
I bet someone's done the math on how far do you have to go for that to be worth it.
Speaking, I think I forgot to talk about was that creep spread though.
Yeah.
Xena actually has the best creep spread of any bot because he uses overlords to extend the vision of the creep tumors, so you can always spread them to the maximum distance. But of course, that means these overlords are actually really vulnerable right now, as they're taking a lot of damage. Not sure if he lost one or
Chase
not.
back. I think at
Nice
least
little
one
surround,
died,
and
yeah.
then he ran away. Oh,
Yeah, there's very little here if he jumps on it. Yeah, it cleans all of that up. Thanks in the other location, but yeah, they were pretty far away. They were good support on the way, but now getting stuck out alone.
That's like another like meme in the ProBot meta.
Yeah.
It's like the Oracle doesn't do anything, and the indecisive Zerglings.
Yeah,
It's like they don't retreat and they don't attack. They do something in
just
between.
sit. Yeah,
Like let me get right into attack range and then run away.
Yeah.
But he did get a nice round if he committed to it.
indeed.
Four
Second
medevacs
push.
is kind of scary. That's like
Yeah.
a personal healer for each of these Marines.
Essentially, yes. Ling's here, at least not lining or clumping up for the Hellion, but also not committing to. I think this is a tough one where it's like you're not committing to an attack that you probably would win pretty easily if he went with initially what he had, but was too scared to do it. And Roach is here.
Yeah, I'd love to see that again. Like I know I can't even comprehend how he got that surround.
Yeah.
It was really weird. Like every Ling was individually microed to like he was like spreading out, but like collapsing on the army at the same time. But then of course once he got the full surround, he ran away, so it didn't matter. But still, with these roaches and queens in the background, he's able to hold off that push quite well. Carrying those on a solid 2 base economy, so he's going to be able to keep up this sort of production for quite a while. Third base coming down now.
And yeah, just this individual spread out control, like you're saying, but it
Certain
looks
are so
impressive.
fast.
Yeah. Why are
And they can
still
out,
getting hit?
like,
Yeah.
and they can see far. So I don't know why they step into like Marauder range.
Yeah.
It just seems it must be some issue I'm not aware of. But every Zergbot seems to do this.
Yeah. I think sometimes you just get an outsized focus on some other unit. Like the fear here seems to come from the Hellion Hellbat.
Yeah.
If they weren't there, presumably they should jump on the bio, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I don't mind not engaging. It's just like you can see 10 range and your unit's way faster than a Marauder. Like why are you ever stepping into attack range?
Yeah, exactly. Why are you trying to stay?
And I guess that might be one of the things that keeps Xena from being, you know, the number one bot. Is there's so many things this bot does better than every other bot, but then it, you know, if there's one important thing that you do wrong, then that's all it takes for your bot to get destroyed against an Eris or one of those top bots.
Yeah, even there, like the flank there came in right, and then they didn't. It still cleaned it up anyway, but like they get close enough that they're literally in melee range, and then they don't.
Yeah. That kind of looked good though in those attacks. I
one-
noticed
that
that they
one's
are
interesting.
running away from the Hellbats and
Yeah.
jumping on the Marines. So I
Yeah.
like that micro.
Yeah, and he's got enough here. It doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter what these attacks were. I mean, it was 5 base on 2, so it's just so much surge. But yeah, you can see like how strong. Like, look at the mini map first of all. That's with a lot of creep tumors that died, and that's insane. So he's got amazing macro, best creep spread, and the potential to have one of the best micro. If he just fixes up a couple little things. Very, very scary bot.
Indeed.
But nice showing out to Ray. I do like that we got to see like what
Yep.
he's capable of in game 2 there.
Yeah,
It
so
looks
good
like he's
push
got
outs.
got a good repertoire. You know, he can build all the way up to starport tech and make a composition, and we use that composition together. I like it.
Indeed. Yeah, I think some potential there, like coordination of units, things like that, working out well. So we are going to move on to match number 4, the last of the evening, and the last first match for groups. And we are going to have, forget who it is now. Check my rundown. Or they'll change the graphic, whichever one's first.
MicroMachine versus 12 pool bot.
12 pool bot, nice. Yeah. 12 pool bot, as everyone knows, a deep macro player. Nope.
Wait,
But 12 pool bot also doesn't 12. Well, it does 12 pool, but that's not its successful strategy.
yeah, it has like a roach rush too, right? And
Yeah, the roach
Am I
rush
making-
was the thing that worked. Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm making this up, but didn't 12 pool bot upset like a really major bot?
Yeah.
Was it MicroMachine?
Yeah, it was like Eris. I think.
Oh, it's Eris. Okay.
Was it
jeez.
Eris? I think it was Eris. Yeah, yeah. So, and it was the 12 pool lost, and then I think it won with 2 consecutive roach rushes. Yeah. So that can happen. Yeah, that seemed to be the better strategy out of the 2. So yeah, MicroMachine long been one of the best bots. It's kind of the gatekeeper of Elite. Like you have to be able to beat MicroMachine to move into kind of the elite range of things. A multiple time champion of this tournament, and yeah, it does keep track of what it's winning and losing against different bots, and it selects different strategies. You know, it basically relearns. Yeah, like a note there. It doesn't apply in tournaments. It does in that match, but like on the ladder, it will keep the record of like the hundreds of wins or losses, and then decide based on that data.
Yeah, so it's still one of the strongest bots versus humans. So he has he doesn't make any major core mistakes, we'll say. So
Yeah.
he puts on pretty good pressure. He has really good macro, and he's been cheesed so much throughout his history that he's really solidified all of his defenses against different cheeses, at least the ones the bots can do.
Yeah, exactly. When you're kind of like the target for everyone for so long, you end up, really getting used to defending against that sort of thing. You just have to, or else you're gonna die a lot. So yeah, you're very, very battle tested, I guess, in that sense. And then 12 pool bot against by Phantom, who I believe donated some memberships in the chat earlier.
Nice.
Thanks for that. And 12 pool bot only, it basically says 12 pool itself only viable in the ZVZ, but again, it does have the Roach Rush as well, which seems viable in the other matchups, and then uses this Dijkstra implementation for pathing, which is a little bit different than most of the other bots.
Yeah, that's
little,
better than a sharp.
Yeah.
For a couple of reasons, I can't remember anymore. Something about diagonals or something.
Yeah.
I don't
You
know.
can kind of see, it's another one, I think, when you see like the Ling and Roach movement, it does look different. So yeah, I think.
Yeah, I think I remember against Tier, it was actually when he did attack with the Lings, it looked really good. But then he get like the previous match, he had the issue of kind of running back and forth and losing all of his Lings as he's being indecisive.
Yeah.
But when he did move, he would like swing around behind and find a harass angle. It was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, so first match will be on Oceanborn, which is a little bit more open of a map, I guess. But I don't think we'll be getting into long macro games anyway, so it doesn't matter too much.
No. Yeah, I don't
But
think so.
no major choke point going into the natural. It could be a major factor with a rush bot like pool bot.
Indeed. And I think one thing interesting there, you saw like the note on how short the code is basically for the whole bot, but it does weirdly have even transitions to it. It will, because there are times when it will kind of like almost win with something like the Roach Rush. It will then go up to like mutas and stuff if it has to. So it has the ability to like kind of kick out of that and continue on if it is called upon to do so. So with that, let's jump into game number one. I think these could be relatively short ones as well, but we'll see.
MicroMachine. Pool bot.
Yep. Here we've got ProBot just kind of coming across with the Overlord, but guess what he's doing? He's 12 pooling. That's what the strategy is going to be. At least in this game, we'll see if it wins. And then we've got technically it's not. It is 12 pool bot, but it's not really a 12 pool. It is something else. And he's gassing, so maybe he is going to open with the Roach Warren right away. Yeah. So in the first season that we saw 12 pool bot, it was entirely 12 pooling. in the first, but then once he lost, it moved on to another. But maybe he's now kind of coded in, why don't we skip that? Because I don't know if that ever won. At least I don't remember any games where it did, so may have just moved on.
I remember it looking really strong, or this roach rush. I remember looking really strong against Tier, actually.
Yeah.
Where you go for this huge roach push and then have this massive follow-up of Lings behind it.
Yeah.
And he just needed to break in, and he just couldn't quite break up the ramp because of reasons. But if he did, I think he would have overwhelmed Tier.
Yeah.
So, so far there's not even a complete wall off yet for MicroMachine. So, look good. Okay, now there is. But if I recall correctly, I think he had all the pieces in place to break Tier. So he just got executed correctly. Let's see if he can get it this time. Reaper does spot the roaches very early though, so you'll see them immediately popping out. And here's the other thing: can you kill a MicroMachine Reaper? Because it's not an easy task.
Yeah, and if you have to be clear of this before you move across, then I think that could be
it's
a
got
problem.
cornered a little bit. Oh, not quite.
Yeah, does it drive it out long enough to then trigger this attack here?
Sometimes those delays can actually help you.
help.
It makes your attack come later but stronger. Let's see, you pull all your units together. Marauder and Concussive Shell on the way. That's going to be nice versus Roach play. Reaper picking off these initial Lings, which is nice, and keeping himself alive. Also distracting the Roaches, which is an extremely big deal. Those things need to be crossing the map right now. But it looks like unless this Reaper dies, this attack is going to be delayed. Speed is just been started on these Zerglings, so Reaper might get cornered. We'll see. No, looks he's gonna get through. Yeah, he's up.
Yeah, he knows.
Okay, so this rush is gonna be super late, but you know he's not really losing a unit, so will be a lot of roaches and Lings when he does finally cross the map.
The real thing is, will it ever happen at this point, or is he gonna keep coming back?
Yeah, well, I mean, in about 10 seconds we're gonna have Speedlings, so that should be the end of the
shut it down.
The Reaper at that point. But during that time, I mean, Starport's almost done. We got Hellions, we got Marauders, we got Marines. Still not enough, I don't think. Especially if the Marauders get targeted quickly.
Yeah,
here's this.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe when the Roaches survive, they'll start fighting, but we don't want to see this again. There they go. Yeah, they're committing. I like it. Nice spready on MicroMachine there. Pulling back up his ramp. SCV is coming in to fight with it. Perfect defense out of MicroMachine. And I think the Roaches can't even see those units on the high ground at the moment.
Yeah, no vision there. The Overlord looks like it's way back loading.
And now ProBots lost enough that's gone into indecisive mode again, which means it's going to be
bouncing around.
Yeah, maybe this next flood of Lings. I mean, it is very Marauder heavy. Lings are very good versus Marauders. Yeah, but the indecisiveness again. I almost wish bots would just like commit. You know, like once you choose to commit, just don't have a back out piece of code. Especially with melee units. Like once they get in range, they kind of have to stay there at that point.
Yeah, it seems like there could be some sort of check that is like, you know, if I'm already in this range and I've chosen to attack, do not allow it to override that decision for whatever amount of time.
And I mean, that's probably not the way you want to code it, because sometimes you still want to retreat. But if you can't get it perfect, that's better than retreating wrongly, we'll say. With Medivacs out, he's going to be a lot more life on these Marauders. Again, top back up to that 120 health or whatever they have, which is very nice. +1 is actually on the way, and we have a Banshee with Cloak. So ProBot needs to kind of win the game like right now, and with these Lings being bled, I don't think that's going to happen. He's just too good of a defense at MicroMachine, you know.
Yeah, this
spreading
is all
back,
about the
falling
initial...
back, going up his ramp, bringing SCVs in to fight with it. It is just a really nice defense. And during that attack, ProBot was not doing anything wrong. He was fully committed. It's just MicroMachine living up to his name on that micro.
Very much so. yeah, the whole thing is about the initial attack being very successful, and kind of breaking the back of the other person, getting on top of them. And like it's meant to be very timed up that that first wave of roaches comes out and the lings just hit super well with them. You know, but it doesn't play out that way.
103 lings have gone down. And most of them just dying like this. Just like hanging out at 7 range instead of hanging out at 9 range, you know?
Indeed, yeah, and this just becomes the grind here. He also doesn't, due to like the lack of code and stuff in it, also does not spread creep or anything like that across.
Oh, no.
Which could help.
Yeah, I actually don't mind that. If you're going to go all in, your tumors are worthless.
Yeah, yeah.
Really,
Yeah,
just
I
keep
guess
injecting. You know?
Yeah.
So as few queens as possible to have maximum inject. I think we missed it, but there's probably Banshees killing all the drones during that time as well.
Yeah, you can
Which is
see the
nice.
work
Helps
it
speed up the
down.
game a little bit.
Yeah, 15.
Yeah, so, you know, MVP goes to that Reaper who delayed the attack by a good, 2 minutes probably.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there was an opportunity definitely to get in there with small numbers.
Yeah, it was like 6
and
roaches
overwhelm
versus
that,
like
yeah.
what, a Marauder and a Hellion or something by the time he arrived.
Yeah.
If you go in straight there.
Yeah, it's designed to be very synced up, and we've seen that happen. Like, and even the way he's got it timed out is almost to the second of like when the roaches hit the front line is when the lings are catching up, and like it's pretty well done. So anything disrupting that timing is pretty devastating.
Yeah, so I mean, if that Reaper gets cornered again, remember that Reaper did get down to 1 hit right at the start of the game too.
Yeah,
He just got around that corner
Yeah,
past the
almost.
roaches. Yeah, if
Yeah.
that kill happens, man.
Yeah,
It'll be a
so we'll
completely
see
different
maybe
game.
on a different map here with a different shaped base. Is that going to go a different way yet again? And yeah, I guess we'll find out on hard lead or hard lead. I know it's lead, but hard lead has a different implication to it. And lead, and it's the fact that lead is usually considered pretty soft.
Well, that's
is
why
weird,
he's
but then it's-
specifying this is different.
Yeah, exactly. It's it's notable that this lead is hard because you probably wouldn't build your base on like some lead if it was pretty soft to begin with. So yeah, either way, let's hop into it and see if the map falls apart under the pressure.
ProBots. MicroMachine.
Okay, so it looks like it's going to be the same build out of 12 Pool here, as he has gotten that early gas once again. Oh no, I take it back.
He is.
Yeah, he saved the larva for the lynx. So I guess this is just going to be for speed, probably, right?
Yeah, we'd seen again in last season. He always started with the 12 pool and then went to the roach. It's possible he's now switched that order. So we never really got to see if he would go back because in a best of 3, if you lose one, then lose the other, it's over. But yeah, here it may be that if you start with the roach one, we're going to go for the ling one next, switch, which is a little bit of a shame because I think it would have been more interesting to see the roach again, like you said, with potentially a different Reaper situation.
Yeah, I think I had a lot of potential. With that said, this is a very strong build. I mean, a lot of lings flying across the map. He did start speed and went immediately back into minerals to maximize his Zergling production. But it depends what this Reaper does. If it defends, it's just gonna be so good. MicroMachine Reaper. Oh wait, oh, he almost got cornered. But yeah. Just too good versus slow lings off creep. I suspect this Reaper is going to have a large kill count at the end of this game.
One may.
You ever see when a Reaper gets like that perfect grenade hit, but
Yeah.
the grenade like pops all the lings and do a perfect surround onto the Reaper?
Yes.
It's like I hit them all, and now they're all surrounding me.
Oh.
What did I just do?
Good. Yeah.
Marine cutting backwards, SCV helping in with the fight. Yeah, this is a lot of deadlings.
I think that's something the balance team should work on, is the idea of directional Reaper shots. Instead of just an explosion, more like a claymore where it pushes in one direction.
That would be cool.
I think there's potential there.
Yeah, I like the idea of a claymore in general.
Yeah.
Even like a spider mine from like
Yeah.
Brood War, but a directional spider mine sort of idea.
Yeah. That would be neat.
Okay, speed is done, so that Reaper does die very quickly. Marines are falling fast as well. SCV's dying, and there's no wall off. This is not over. Reaper got like 15 kills, and it might not have been enough because MicroMachine is just being as greedy as possible on this side. SCV is using nice micro to attack and pull back, mineral walk back. But he's probably going to force at least the natural to lift, we'll say. While he waits for more Zerglings. There's the lift. And they're working, what's that, gas geyser? Okay, that's not great. Because MicroMachine is now up to 3 Marines and a Hellion. So he really needs to gather all these Zerglings together and use them together. SCV's joining in for the fight. Reaper's actually, or Hellion's actually down into the red now, but he is getting repaired. Oh man, is there anything MicroMachine doesn't do? Oh, and the second Hellion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very detail oriented as a bot again, like being alive for this long.
When I saw that,
Scouted in.
yeah, when I saw Reaper kill like 15 lings for free, I thought this game was over. Then that changed really quickly. 50 lings down.
Yeah. Yeah. Still, the efficiency on the side of MicroMachine stabilized and now counter pushing.
Yeah.
And yeah, 12 pool bot doesn't really have kind of like the mechanics to like regroup or anything. Will retreat, but kind of again doing this sort of in out sort of thing that prevents like a lot of accumulation.
And like as deep as that push got, if you think of what he actually killed, there's like Marines, and then he damaged some structures. It's like it's like he's not, even when he broke in there, it's not like he killed like 15 workers or something. You just kind of killed some army and the units, and that was about it. Machine's even trying to pull back to allow 12 pool to pool up, and he's like, no. Let me chase you just so I can get in range again.
One back out, like, yeah, just this overall death. Army supplies have maintained like pretty even, which is probably why MicroMachine isn't really pushing in for like the closure. Here you can see it's kind of cancel and relaunch the offensive, which it does over and over. This is its kind of combat logic, so it's trying to guess what it has, but you can see it's often kind of wrong, but it's doing it based on locally what it can see.
Yeah. He kills off a few lings. He's like, okay, he's down to 10 lings. Let me go on the offense. So then when he goes on offense, he sees 10 more, and he's like, okay, 20 lings I don't want to fight. Let me pull back.
If you go
And
by
as he's pulling back, he kills more lings, and he's like, okay, go
Yeah.
offense again.
If you go by what it's actually saying here, it's constantly estimating the enemy has 0. But I don't think that's really what it thinks, because it's canceling.
Yeah, who knows what that means? Yeah, I mean, his supply is not 7 or 2 either, so...
Yeah. It's interesting, too, he calls it ally. It's just you.
Yeah.
No ally.
Okay, so benches are going to come in, help clean up the economy, prevent more links from coming out, so this game can end a little bit quicker. But impressive win by MicroMachine, and impressive by ProBot as well, as both these games look winnable. I feel like that's a common theme with ProBot. Like every game looks like, you know, you had it here, but if only this happened, you know, or if only this.
Yeah, definitely true. It's like it's a hard hit, so I mean it takes a good defense to hold it, and yeah, again, timing, target selection, as you can see here, once again, like tentativeness. It's I think that's the biggest thing with anything that's like straight up a cheese bot. Why are you programming in tentativeness at all? Like, as it's not like you can win later. Like
Yeah,
I know
well, I
on,
mean-
on like small engage on like some small level, but it should at least
Yeah.
be leaning towards taking the fight.
Well, you definitely don't want to like 2 lings at a time or whatever,
Yeah.
something like
Yeah,
that, right?
Yeah.
But
Like once you've hit your initial threshold of go, there should essentially not be a no go.
yeah,
Like
like you said, 200 lines of code. So
yeah.
I think if he ever picks up working on this bot again, he knows what he's going to work on.
Yeah, for
As
sure.
that's I'll probably game a lot more victories.
Well, that was I don't want to say a stump, but it was a good old rump. So
Yeah.
MicroMachine showing us once again that it is the gateway to ProBots, still and foremost. If you can beat MicroMachine, if you're good enough to beat a MicroMachine, you're good enough to play ProBots. But good artwork on 12 pool bot. What is 62 lines of code?
845 sticks out in my mind. I don't know if that's right.
I have individual classes that are bigger than that. My bot's a mess.
I mean, you know what though? It's in ProBots, right? With there's a level of efficiency. Maybe like you can't discount the idea of that they made it up to ProBots. They beat up the ladder, several other bots. They weren't the last seed, and they had it to do with a lot less code than others. Somebody say that's just straight up efficiency.
And they beat Eris, and the matches they don't win, you can see like how a small change could allow them to win. I mean, there's a lot of potential there, and very, very strong, and even without the potential.
Yeah, well, we saw a lot of great games tonight. A big upset though with Demios against Arty. So I'm not even sure what to expect coming out of it. Like someone mentioned in the chat that it will make a great comeback story. So we'll have to see all the way from the bottom. Now we're here. Why don't we take a look at these brackets of what we saw tonight and take a little bit of a conversation through memory lane. So Demos Arty took out Demos. Yeah. And Sharkbot going over Sharpenedge. Xena over Terrain.
Let's go Terrain.
Terrain. Terran in the rain. And MicroMachine took out 12 pool bot. Like Cat Rock said, this is not done. There's still we'll see again in week 3.
Yeah, nobody eliminated yet.
Not yet. But not bad so far. Not a bad first week. A lot of action. We did see a 2-1, which I think is pretty rare for first weeks.
Yeah, for the very first match overall, it's pretty rare. And then having it be like not only a new bot, but 2 brand new bots.
Yeah.
Not a new author for Demos, but 2 new bots to ProBots.
Absolutely. And then next week, we'll see Kaninana versus Tartarus, Ketrock versus Zozo, Dominion Dog versus T-Bone, and Benbot BC versus Tier. So those matches, Tartarus is new, and T-Bone is fairly new. He's not new, not first appearance, but he's like a fresher bot. And he has a lot of interesting potential. We had a great conversation about him in Postbot, where he talked about how he reverse engineered the community. Utility AI from watching a what's that dev conference? Oh my god,
DEF CON? A hacker conference? I don't know.
No, the conference that developers go to, and they talk about anyways, developer conference. He went there and he saw some stuff with utility AI, and then he reverse engineered it for his bot. So that's where a lot of his some of his micro comes from. I'm really excited. That's kind of the mood that if we're saying what I'm excited for next week, I'm excited to see T-Bone and see what he has in store. I'm also excited to see Dominion Dog. I feel
Yeah,
like
I
we
think
have.
that'll be good.
I feel like we haven't seen Dominion Dog for a while. I did know that Laughing Games have been casting some of his games recently. So
He's very active again. Actually, he stopped coding his bot like over a year ago, and in the last few months he's come back and he's been working on it, and his bot's been like skyrocketing up the ladder. So
I think the Dominion Dog is one of those sleeper agents where you like. I can never tell if it's just maybe like he's just a little bit more something would put them over because it's him, Dominion Dog, and his wife.
His wife, Underdog.
Underdog.
Yeah.
You know, that they had the potential to just take #1 spot permanently because there was like a fire when I remember when we did the interview with them that time that they were just coding, and Dominion Dog was always such a I would say fairly efficient bot at what it was doing, and I remember I liked a lot of its micro. So it's been a while since I've seen a Dominion Dog game, and I look forward to seeing what that looks like next week.
So I just checked on the ladder, and Demos and Eros by Rasper is like that's #1, #2, obviously. But right after that, in clear #3 is Dominion Dog.
What was that number 2 one? What's it? The Demos and
Eris.
Oh, Eris. Oh.
Yeah. So the two Team Eris spots. But yeah, I think Dominion Dog was usually around number 12, and since he's come back, he's a clear #3. Like he's got a good lead on #4.
Is this like Dominion Dog in the hyperbolic time chamber, where he's been training under 10,000 times gravity? He's gonna be like Buff Dog. This is it.
I think it'd be good. Yeah, he didn't come back to lose. He's here playing.
Didn't come back to lose. No, straight up.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. And then shout outs to all of you. I saw we still got some new channel members out there. Uncle Vinny. Let's see what shout out. Uncle Vinny, Phantom for the donation of it. And then and Ket Rock. So shout outs to y'all who joined channel membership. !join. You can go to versusai.net/join. That's from our other membership. Join me on Mondays where we do mob programming together. And we're building our bot for the micro ladder, hopefully before they change it, because I saw people are talking about changing the micro ladder. I didn't read all the conversation, but the micro ladder is changing. So we're going to hopefully get some wins in there before they shift up things. It looks like a big change too, so we'll see next week. So yeah, join us here. If you join up in the membership, you can join up with me. We work on a bot together, and we do just rotation. So right now it's me and Dog Tato, myself. We're putting this bot together, but you two can join and be part of the rotation. And then AIarena.net, good place for you to go get your bot started, put it up on the ladder. Super easy to get started. We have a template in the description of this video. Download it, get started today. There's some stuff here on this channel that you can, get some inspiration. And I'm actually hoping before next week, we'll see. I have a tutorial written out, so I'm hoping I'll get that ready for you for next week. If not this next week, definitely the week after, to help bot authors get started. So keep an eye out for that. And it's not that bad. We'll be. I have it for coding your first Zerg Rush bot. So look forward for that. Other than that, I think that is all the good stuff we got today. Obviously, you should hit subscribe so that you can get notified when we go live. But if not, you can obviously just come back here 7:30 p.m. Eastern, where we're back here at ProBots on Versus AI. So. What about anything from you guys? Any last words? Interesting things to bring up? Worth talking about.
I like seeing new bots. I think that's fun. We saw one win.
I mean,
always exciting.
I mean, that is a testament. I'm hopefully a lot of you guys are watching either some of our videos or Laughing Games videos that are giving you guys inspiration to put bots together. It's good to see new faces, and I'm glad to see new faces coming in and putting their bots together. So that really is something that makes me happy, because I'm hoping that there's a bit of inspiration for people to get started. Laughing Games, shout out to you. He's been casting his butt off for last couple of the games that get put up on the ladder. So really good character. Make sure you check him out too as well if you want to catch more AI games that just don't, like, the bots just don't make it here onto ProBots. Good place to go get that. And yeah, I'd love to see some of the fresh new faces.
Yeah, last season we made up to about almost 80 bots on the ladder, so it's a very active season. There's some other big up and coming bots as well. So next ProBots, I think we'll see some new names as well.
And by the
So,
way, if you make a new bot and your bot beats my bots, I want you to tag me. Let me know. I want you to send me your replay.
Like,
No, well, don't. Well, sure, absolutely. I like the competition. Dog Tato sent me a message. He's like, "Oh, my bot beat you," and I was like, "Okay, all right, I see you." So I have another video coming out. I'm working on it. So I got people in my sights. So
Dragon bots. That's
yeah.
Why didn't you go with Dragon Boat? Especially with how we do boats in the chat. I feel like that was perfect.
I know. And someone said I should have changed because my last video was about pig. Like I used a bronze GM to code bronze GM. So they said I should have called it Pigbot or
is this named after like that streamer dragon or no?
No, I just like,
okay.
I don't know. It was just, I think someone in the chat named it that, and I just went with it because at the time I was just like, I don't know what to call it, and then I just Dragon Bot, and I just went with that. So, but I'm gonna ask Crypt to ask if I can change the name. I think you can change names, so he might just let me do it.
You need to qualify for ProBots because with Dragon you have so many good choices to make an image for.
I know. I don't think I can.
Cool
I don't think I can qualify for my own tournament. I feel like that it's like I think that might have like some issues. So we'll see. But
I don't want to be the only one feeling weird about it.
yeah, exactly.
It feels weird casting my own games. You gotta join me.
You're like you're casting versus like I run the thing. So I don't know. There's too many opportunities.
Oh, we're checking the rule book there. It's like, nope, Eris broke the rules. We're gonna have to give this one to Dragonbot.
That's true. We'll see.
Dragonbot wins by DQ again.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see. For now though, if you beat my bot, let me know. We'll have some fun banter about it. I'm Matt. We'll see you guys next week. Same versus AI time, same versus AI channel, 7:30 p.m. See ya. Happy coding.
Installation.